WWL-TV, Channel 4, New Orleans. John Snell, Hoda Kotb, Jem Henderson, and meteorologist Nancy Russo. This is Louisiana's news leader, Channel 4's Eyewitness News Nightwatch.
The mayoral contenders avoid a face-to-face confrontation at tonight's forum.
Governor Edwards talks about his efforts to turn New Orleans into a bigger sports town.
And an Oregon judge says no to Tanya Harding's ex-husband who wants to travel to Colorado to testify against her. Good evening. It was supposed to be a face-to-face debate between the two mayoral candidates.
And indeed, both Donald Mintz and Marc Morial appeared before French Quarter business people tonight. However, they didn't appear together. Mike Longman explains what happened.
Lead story on New Orleans. Down in the Big Queasy.
Candidate Donald Mintz made his opening remarks at about 7:30.
Do you have a Q&A or a presentation?
Candidate Marc Morial didn't even enter the room until Mintz had departed. Before this French Quarter forum got started, the moderator pointed out two things. First, the format had changed. It was no longer a face-to-face debate. And second, the candidates were both shown all of the questions before they answered them.
He indicated the same thing with respect to a number of student government organizations that wanted to have a face-to-face debate. Donnie is ducking.
Morial is not alone in making that claim. Earlier in the day, during voluntary testimony before the Human Relations Commission, Donald Mintz accused Morial of using the flyer issue as a smokescreen.
I believe it is being politically motivated. I believe it is being done because my opponent wants to distract attention from the real issues.
Mintz even appeared to throw a shot at his opponent.
I will put my record of nearly 51 years, my personal life with my wife and my family, and my reputation on the line next to my opponents any day of the week.
Still, Morial says the original plan for this forum was to be face-to-face. He says he's disappointed it was not.
The Mintz campaign uses the truth sparingly in all matters, it appears. They refuse to come unless the format that was arrived at was agreed to by all parties.
The Mintz camp says Morial is complaining about rules he previously agreed to. No matter, the drought will be short-lived. The candidates are to face off twice tomorrow. Mike Longman, Eyewitness News, Nightwatch.
A trio of endorsements handed out in the to the mayoral contenders today. Former candidate Mitch Landrieu says he'll support Marc Morial. Morial also picked up the support of labor unions representing 35,000 workers in New Orleans, and Donald Mintz was endorsed by a group of area ministers. For the second night in a row, New Orleans police are investigating some signs of a double shooting in one of the city's housing projects. Tonight, it took place in the V.W. Cooper project. People at the scene telling us that 2 women were shot just about an hour ago. We should say that a police spokesperson just a few minutes ago couldn't confirm that report and didn't know anything yet about their conditions.
There's a lot going on in the sports world around here. We've heard a lot of talk about professional basketball coming to New Orleans, and there's some talk of professional volleyball too. There's also a new football team coming to the state. Tonight, the man who has been spearheading this sports blitz came to New Orleans to talk about it. Imagine sitting inside the Superdome and watching professional basketball.
West only, Floyd back, West slam dunk.
Or sitting in that same seat and being ringside at a boxing match. The same seat that gives you a front row seat at a rock concert.
It's just another day.
Governor Edwards thinks that day is now. That professional basketball will soon be here, and with it the rock concerts and the boxing.
We're in the hoop.
Tonight, Edwards came to New Orleans to talk sports. He's confident that the Minnesota Timberwolves are headed our way.
Before I leave the governor's office, we will have a professional basketball team here, not because I'm governor, but simply because the timing has come to this point.
Governor Edwards has more than just basketball on his mind. He says we're close to getting another sport here in the New Orleans area, one we're not used to seeing very often. Professional volleyball could be headed our way. We're competing with 4 other cities. Today, a site selection committee toured a possible site in West Wego.
And certainly there's a great opportunity for the sport itself to grow throughout the southeast area, and to have it anchored in a city such as New Orleans would really help us immeasurably.
And there's more on the sports front. The Zephyrs are expanding their temporary home until their real one is built. That one is supposed to open in 1995.
Also, just this past week, I was up in Shreveport to announce the arrival of a Canadian football team in the Shreveport area, and I think it shows a growing interest in people around the country in a presence in New Orleans and in Louisiana.
With football, baseball, and maybe volleyball and basketball, Louisiana is living up to its name as the sportsman's paradise. Governor Edwards says he should know whether the Timberwolves are coming to New Orleans in the next month or so.
A New Orleans judge dismissed a suit to block the world's largest casino from going up on the Rivergate site. Judge Richard Garvey threw out claims by 4 descendants of the 1800s landowners that the city couldn't use the land for a private business. The suit claimed that the original deal with the city was that the land would be used for the general public. Attorneys for the plaintiffs say they may appeal. The full House will debate a bill tomorrow outlining over $30 million in spending, most of it to pay sheriffs for keeping state prisoners. The House is expected to approve the bill and send it on to the Senate. The governor appeared today before a House panel saying a shortage of money has created an intolerable situation in 23 parish jails around Louisiana.
The jury could begin deliberating tomorrow in the Branch Davidian case in Texas. Closing arguments are expected to wrap up by midday. 11 cult members are on trial for the murders of 4 ATF agents a year ago. The prosecution claims the cult members conspired to kill the agents. Defense attorneys say David Koresh's followers acted in self-defense.
The U.S. is telling Russia to take responsibility for a spy scandal that put a CIA official and his wife in jail. 52-year-old Aldrich Ames and his wife Maria are charged with spying for the Soviets and then the Russians. President Clinton says he called high-level Russian officials in Washington and Moscow to voice very harsh protests.
It is a very serious case. I congratulate the FBI and the CIA for the work they did in cracking it. We will be immediately lodging a protest to the Russian government.
Mr. Clinton says if the Russian government doesn't take responsibility for the scandal, it could seriously damage U.S.-Russian relations.
9 men face charges in an FBI sting operation at NASA's Johnson Space Center. 2 NASA workers are allegedly involved in a kickback and bribery scheme. Federal authorities say the charges stem from a 2-year investigation into fraudulent contracts at the Space Center.
Still ahead on Night Watch, an Oregon judge cancels travel plans for Jeff Gillooly.
And thieves foul up an Algiers ballpark.
It takes a real superstore to sell 2-liter Cokes for 88 cents every day. But we are, and they are, every day. It's the same cheap price every day. A pound of American Beauty butter is just 88 cents every day at the real superstore. 1 pound Camellia red beans are just 33 cents every day at the real superstore. Every day, every day, every day.
See boats, boats, and more boats at the New Orleans Boat and Sport Fishing Show, February 23rd through the 27th. Climb aboard fishing boats, sailboats, cruisers, and personal watercraft. You'll find fishing gear and accessories too. There's fun for all with a mountain trout fishing pond, the hog trough, sailing and fishing seminars, water ski clinics, scuba lessons, and cooking demos with Frank Davis. The New Orleans Boat and Sport Fishing Show, Wednesday the 23rd through Sunday the 27th at the Superdome.
I want a bank that's open when I've got time. Easy to get to, lots of branches.
Be there with the answers I need.
Help me get on to my next errand.
Remember, my time is valuable.
At Hibernia, we're doing a lot to make your banking easier and more convenient, like extended hours and Saturday hours, more tellers, quicker response when you have a question. At Hibernia, we know what matters to you, and we're doing everything we can to make it happen.
Sounds smart.
Stop spinning your wheels shopping price. Your Metro Mitsubishi dealers have done it for you. You can't match the '94 Mitsubishi Galant S. At just $179 per month, buy or lease with 1.2% APR and only $500 down. Nothing matches the '94 Mitsubishi Galant S and the Diamond Advantage Plan. Visit your Metro Mitsubishi dealers today and find out exactly why you can't match a Mitsubishi Galant S. Bryan, Royal, and Superior.
Tomorrow is the big day for Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding. The women's figure skaters take to the ice in Norway for the technical part of their competition. Both Harding and Kerrigan were on the ice together today for a joint practice session.
Harding's ex-husband, Jeff Gillooly, was in a Portland courtroom today. He tried to get a judge to let him leave Oregon to go to Colorado. Gillooly wants to testify before the U.S. Figure Skating Association about the attack on Nancy Kerrigan. The judge denied the request, saying Gillooly's testimony could be taken in a deposition. NATO diplomats meeting in Germany say they want to see more progress toward an end to the all-out fighting in Bosnia. U.S. officials say they won't rule out the use of force to end the fighting, but they want to see if more ceasefires can be negotiated peacefully. So far, the ceasefire in Sarajevo is holding.
A small group of volunteers works year-round to keep an Algiers ballpark in good shape, but thieves recently dealt them a serious setback. Now they tell action reporter Bill Capo they're hoping the latest theft won't leave the grass knee-high in the outfield.
Skelly Rupp Ballpark in Algiers is quiet today, but it won't be much longer before the sounds of summer echo throughout the stadium. Even in the middle of winter, though, the field and stands are in good shape, thanks to the never-ending efforts of the Skelly Booster Club.
During football season, everybody thinks it's break time, but for us, we work year-round.
To keep the field in shape for 4 Babe Ruth teams, area high school squads, and semi-pro groups, parents and coaches in the Booster Club raise thousands of dollars from the concession stand and other activities.
We take a lot of pride in the park, and we try to keep it up as best we can. We all volunteers. We all put a lot of hard time into this park, and we're having it all taken away from us.
What's been taken away is almost everything of value that can be moved, stolen by thieves who've broken in repeatedly.
Then we decided to put a new lock up here, and then they went through the roof.
They've taken the field sound system amplifiers more than once.
We had stolen from us a lot of baseball equipment, catcher's equipment, bats, helmets, everything.
But the most critical theft happened just before Mardi Gras, when the tractor lawnmower provided by the Recreation Department was stolen. Booster Club members took care of the grass themselves, usually mowing it on a weekly basis.
It's critical that we have one, because without grass cut and pulling the field, we just can't play ball out here.
I talked to NORD Director Dolores Aaron and asked her to get a new lawnmower for Skelly, but she told me the machine that was stolen was not insured and the city has no money to buy a new one. She said the best she can do at this point is to let the Skelly Booster Club borrow a lawnmower from another playground.
We're looking for somebody to put some money into the park, a corporate sponsor or somebody who donate money.
For details, please call the Skelly Booster Club at 361-3200. Total Security Systems is pitching in to monitor the alarm system here, and the Parkway and Parks Commission will help cut the grass as often as possible. But for Booster Club members, the goal is so important to provide good experiences for the next generation.
I think that if you help kids, it keeps them out of trouble, it gives them something to do, and it makes you feel good because you've done something constructive.
I'm Bill Capo, Eyewitness News, Action Reporter.
Coming up in sports, Michael Jordan takes his first cuts against big league pitching.
And also a slugfest on the lakefront. Jim has details.
Don't bust your fitness budget. Join the French Riviera Spa for just $5 a week. The city's largest health club chain offers you plenty. The biggest selection of fitness machines, personal service, and right now, it's all yours for just $5 a week.
The aerobics is great, and they have the best equipment.
They have the equipment I need.
Great place to work out.
I'm going from 39 waist to 34 waist.
Don't bust your fitness budget. Join for just $5 a week at the French Riviera Spa.
I'm Sybil Morial. Our family has been in public service for 3 generations. We're not thin-skinned, but this year's campaign has stepped over the line. A top aide of Mark's opponent was indicted for distributing anonymous flyers. You have to read these flyers to understand how repulsive they are. Such tactics go beyond dishonoring Mark and our family name. This is not politics as usual. This was a systematic effort to divide our city. If we don't stop this, what next?
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens.
The all-new Mitsubishi Galant, filled with thoughtful details.
These are a few of my favorite things.
And now, the new Galant S lease. Just $500 down and $179 a month for 24 months.
These are a few of my favorite things.
The affordable Galant lease. Perhaps the most favorite thing of all.
Look to Vision Plan.
Good eye care just won't fit in a box. Now Vision Plaza delivers quality contact lens service at mail order prices. Join the Vision Plaza Contacts Club and get your contacts locally for the same price as Lens Express or other so-called discount outlets. Vision Plaza has the brands you want, plus club discounts on lens care products and glasses. Bring your current prescription or see our doctors of optometry. Join the Contacts Club at one of Vision Plaza's 12 convenient locations and break out of the box.
You see the value looks good.
Letter Perfect, 3 centuries of Louisiana correspondence. A free exhibition at the Historic New Orleans Collection, 533 Royal Street.
Here's a quick look at some other stories making news. Federal Reserve Chief Alan Greenspan says the nation's economic outlook is the best in decades, but short-term interest rates will probably rise as the central bank tries to keep a lid on inflation.
The FCC ordered cable TV companies to cut prices they charge for some programs and equipment by 7%.
A Panamanian tanker hit a string of barges on the Mississippi River today, knocking one of the barges into a New Orleans water intake platform. The 2 barges sank, nobody was hurt, and there was no damage to the water intake system.
Auditors looking over the books at the Armstrong Redevelopment Corporation say it may take 5 weeks to wrap up their investigation. The group's under fire for allegedly mismanaging federal money.
And House Minority Leader Bob Michel was injured in a car accident in Washington tonight. Witnesses say Michael's car was hit by a driver who ran a red light. His injuries are not reported to be serious.
All right, UNO playing baseball in the Privateer Park that has the improvements going on.
Yes, it does, and they're an improved baseball team to match. UNO hope to carry over the momentum it gained in the Superdome Series over the weekend into its home opener tonight on the lakefront. It was an inauspicious start for the Privateers when they gave up a 3 spot in the top of the first. The second run came home when Faustin Jordan singled to right and the ball was booted by the outfielder Chris Powell. However, trailing 3-0 in the bottom of the first, UNO responded with a 5 spot of their own. Jonathan Matthews singled in 1 with this hit to center. The errant throw to the plate allowed another, and the game was tied at 3. Sean Hicks followed with a double that'll plate Matthews, and that would make it 4-3. There would be plenty more runs for UNO tonight as they move to 3-1 on the year with a 13-7 win over Jackson State. In Baton Rouge tonight in the 8th, LSU is defeating Northwestern 10-5. Michael Jordan reminded many of the mighty Casey at the bat today as he faced Major League pitching in the cage for the first time, not in striking prodigious blows, but in saying, "That's not my style," and letting pitches go by as often as not. Jordan took 16 of the 30 pitches thrown him, including all 4 curveballs. White Sox skipper Gene Lamont wasn't dissatisfied.
Didn't swing and miss. He put every ball in play. He watched the ball real good. He identified balls and strikes quite well. He didn't flinch on a breaking ball even though he knew it was coming.
If Jordan can't hit a moving target like a curveball, maybe he can hit a more stationary one like an opponent's chin, or at least make a ton of money for himself, and boxing promoter Dan Duva trying. Duva says he'd like to see Jordan fight the winner of April's heavyweight title bout, no, I'm not kidding, between champion Evander Holyfield and Michael Moorer. In fact, he'll guarantee him $15 million to take off his baseball glove and lace on his boxing gloves. He's not going to skate against Nancy Kerrigan, however. Nancy begins competing for the gold in Norway tomorrow, but her bank account already added some today. Kerrigan signed a contract with Walt Disney Company that'll include a TV story of her life, a children's book, and appearances at Disney theme parks. The value of the deal wasn't disclosed, but it will not be contingent on Kerrigan winning a medal in Norway. So I guess that really takes the pressure off her. It looks like the cream of the Southwest Conference crop is getting ready to bolt to a new Super Big 8 conference. The Big 8 has tendered an informal offer to Texas, Texas A&M, Baylor, and Texas Tech to join it with an eye toward attracting its own television contract when the current contract expires in '96. The merger would leave current Southwest Conference members Rice, Houston, TCU, and SMU out in the cold. College basketball tonight at the half. Arkansas leads Georgia. It was Michigan over Illinois. Connecticut bombed Miami. Temple edged Duquesne. Massachusetts whipped St. Joseph's. It was Boston College over Pittsburgh, and Virginia in overtime upset Georgia Tech. Christian Laettner was back for the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight as they visited Cleveland after serving a one-game suspension for insubordination. Laettner returned to score 21 points, but Larry Nance had 8 points during a 16-2 first-quarter run for the Cavs as they sent the T-Wolves down to their 4th straight loss and their worst defeat of the season. That final tonight, Cleveland 114 and Minnesota 81. Seattle defeated New York 93-82. The Knicks shot 29% from the field. Patrick Ewing was 0 for his first 14. He finished with 22. The Heat whipped New Jersey. Indiana's won 10 of 11 in the fourth quarter. Golden State leads Milwaukee. And Houston is on top of Denver in the fourth quarter, 90-86.
Michael Jordan figure skating.
Yeah.
Who knows what's next?
Might be a stretch. There's a change coming in the weather.
Nancy's up next with the details.
Poor man ain't gonna get nothing. I have tried many times.
Because you couldn't get along. Couldn't get along.
Right.
One of the first pieces of my plan is to create a mechanism, a way in which people like you who want to start a small business can get access to money. You could start a business, you could make it go. Not only would that business go, but you would employ others. You got the talent, you got the ideas, but it's a question of getting the money. It's all related, okay, but you got to bring it all together.
Please notice that this is not a sale price. A gallon of Purex bleach is just 48 cents every day at the real superstore. Big 20-ounce loaves of home-style bread are a little 25 cents every day at the real superstore. 25 cents every day. 88-cent 2-liter Pepsi. At the real superstore, it's just an everyday thing. 88 every day at the real superstore.
Suppose you could choose your power company. Which would you choose? On one hand, there's the smaller company, the one that's friendly and always there when you need them. Or there's the bigger company, the one with the resources to meet all your energy needs, now and into the 21st century. Which would you choose? Now you have both, Entergy and LP&L NOPSI. More power to you.
Looked at the Corolla, loved the way it looked.
Test drive Corolla, and you can't help but notice all that Toyota quality.
I love the Corolla. It's fun, it's safe, it's comfortable. The lease program made it very affordable with minimal down payment.
Put a Toyota Touch lease to the test, and you won't find more car for a lower monthly payment.
It's a great car.
If you can find a better car for the money, buy it.
It's everything we want.
If you're tired of the warm, muggy stuff, she's got some good news for you.
A big change coming for the end of the week and the weekend weather that we should see this time of year. It's been a little unusual around here today. We hit 80 degrees, very close to a record high, but by this weekend, you're going to need the sweaters once again. Let's show you what's happening around the area right now. As far as the rain goes, all we're seeing tonight, some widely scattered showers showing up generally on the North Shore from Mandeville through Covington, also down to our southwest, down toward Houma. That's about it right now. As you look west of the city, we are seeing some thunderstorms developing across southwestern Louisiana, and Lake Charles at this hour is reporting heavy rain. That's what we're going to see approaching the city most likely by around dawn tomorrow. That's all associated with a rather strong front that is now located across Texas. That front, however, will not move through until tomorrow evening. Now, ahead of the front, that's where all the moisture has been today, drawing up the moisture just to the east of that frontal system all the way into portions of the Midwest today, with numerous showers and thunderstorms, mainly to our north and west. Around our area, just a few light sprinkles. That was about it. But again, as that front gets closer and closer to us, we could see scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms during the day tomorrow. There even is the possibility of a few heavy downpours as that front gets closer and closer. Around the area today, it was almost like May. The temperature at Audubon Park was up to 80, as I mentioned earlier. 77 was reported in Folsom, 78 in Donaldsonville. Diamond Head reported a temperature of 76. Now, it's hard to believe tonight, but these temperatures have not dropped very much. We have cloudy skies at the airport. And boy, these temperatures are tough to take this time of year. It's 71 at both the airport and at Audubon Park. Slidell is now 70 degrees. The humidity is high. The wind is up. That helps just a little bit. And the barometer is now falling. On our weather map tonight, you can see we have a whopper of a storm system located across the midsection of the country. You can see it spinning right in here with some heavy snow reported today from portions of Nebraska, Kansas, and all the way into Iowa, as much as a foot of snow. Now, as this storm system passed across the western states, this is what it left behind. Here's what it looked like today in Salt Lake City. A foot of snow in the mountains around Salt Lake City, and in the city itself about 10 inches of snow. More than 100 car accidents reported there, and you can see why. It was a real mess. Looks like more snow headed for that area in a couple of days. We have another strong storm system now beginning to push into the northwest. That'll be moving into the Rockies probably by about Thursday. But we have this messy situation right across the middle of the country. Just to the north of the front, ice. To the north of that, snow. Two areas of low pressure along the Gulf Coast will race rapidly northeastward. It's going to be another heavy snow from New York through Boston. The storm system is going to be moving very slowly across our area, so it looks like showers and thunderstorms during the day tomorrow, but we will be clearing by Thursday. A few widely scattered showers expected around the area tonight. Low temperatures will be in the upper 60s. For tomorrow, scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms. It'll be warm, temperatures in the 70s. Here's that extended forecast. It gets much better, but it's going to be a lot cooler. Temperatures on Saturday, only about 56, 59 on Sunday. Temperatures on Saturday and Sunday morning could be in the 30s in many locations.
All right, thanks, Nancy. Up next, a look at the day's lighter news.
News Shorts is coming up.
The Hilton Queen of New Orleans. You'll love the Queen of New Orleans. Riverboat Casino.
Everywhere you turn, you find some hospital or medical group claiming to be a heart institute. But a true heart institute has a teaching hospital, research, and the integration of all heart and vascular subspecialties. Recognition comes with innovations like pioneering a laser device to open blocked arteries, the first federally approved heart transplant program in the Gulf South, and the region's first surgery to interrupt abnormal electrical circuits. For your heart, Oxner. For all your healthcare needs.
Rough, tough, and fun. Enjoy the excitement of a rodeo so big, it could be held only in the Louisiana Superdome. Be there for the 1994 Superdome Pro Rodeo Classic, Friday, March 4th and Saturday, March 5th. The top professional cowboys and cowgirls from all over the world ride and rope for the buckle and thousands of dollars in cash and prizes. Tickets on sale now at the Superdome and all Ticketmaster outlets. Buy yours now.
I'm Sybil Morial. Our family has been in public service for 3 generations. We're not thin-skinned, but this year's campaign has stepped over the line. A top aide of Mark's opponent was indicted for distributing anonymous flyers. You have to read these flyers to understand how repulsive they are. Such tactics go beyond dishonoring Mark and our family name. This is not politics as usual. This was a systematic effort to divide our city. If we don't stop this, what next?
It's good news for homeowners. It's HomeFest 94. Everything to remodel, renovate, and redecorate your home. February 25th, 26th, and 27th at the Pontchartrain Center.
Wednesday, we continue our talks with the runoff candidates in the March 5th election. This time, we'll look at the at-large city council race. We'll talk with candidates Jim Singleton and Ike Spears. Join us.
Finally, a look at some of the more bizarre stories in the news.
We call it News Shorts.
It already looked very
You might
good.
consider this the perfect car, but not Junior Conway, who fashions himself an auto artist.
A job like this will take approximately a year to a year and a half.
Over that time, Conway will strip the original paint, sand the car, and repaint it. Maybe repaint it 40 times. Car collectors pay him big dollars to paint their already perfectly good cars.
This job will run $200,000 plus.
When it's finished, it's a piece of art. It's a piece of art.
Today was National Cat Day in Japan, a search for the model cat. That is to say, the cat that has the ideal relationship with their cat. Top prize went to a cat named Mew. Mew gets a year's supply of cat food. Her owner gets $1 million American dollars. Why in the world are these 9,000 Japanese men running around in loincloths? It's the annual Naked Festival in Okayama, Japan. It's a 500-year-old tradition where 2 tree branches are thrown into the naked crowd. The men who end up with them are supposed to be the lucky men of the year. The lucky men of the year.
Thankfully, we're out of time. Thanks for watching.
Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
If you want a better home equity loan, Jefferson Guaranty Bank's got it with a low rate of 8.25%. And for loans under $25,000, there's no title insurance, no survey fee, no origination fee, and low closing costs. If you debit your payments from your Jefferson Guaranty Bank checking account, you'll get a lower rate of 7.95%. So, for a better home equity loan, call 838-4554. Jefferson Guaranty Bank, more for your money, guaranteed.
There's a big backlog of Social Security cases, and in order to move your case through the system, it really helps to know the law.
Attorney Matt Greenbaum practices Social Security disability law, and he knows how to make the system work for you.
I want to help the disabled, and I'm not paid unless we win your case.
If you're disabled, call the law offices of Matt Greenbaum. Let knowledgeable attorneys help you get your benefits. Remember, it's your money.
Popeyes. This place marinates, batters, cooks, and now even fish and butterfly shrimp.
This place has eye-popping Popeyes shrimp.
From the big fish of New Orleans-style food, a whole new menu.
Eye-popping Popeyes pop shrimp.
And fish. Dive into our new fish and shrimp platter. 2 pieces of mouth-watering fish, 4 butterfly shrimp, coleslaw, fries, and biscuit, just $3.99. Perfect for big folks and little shrimps. Popeyes. Now this place cooks fish and butterfly shrimp.
For years now, Mercury Cougar XR7 has been the roomiest car in its class. This year, we did even better. We made room for 205 horses. With its standard dual airbags, rear-wheel drive, and available V8, Cougar XR7 has some definite high points. Luckily for you, it also has some low ones. It's over $4,100 less than the '92 Cougar. Take a good look today.
In an editorial last week, we told you to ask City Council at-large candidates how they would vote on the early retirement issue, which includes a $400,000 benefit for Mayor Bartholomew. Here today with a reply is Councilman Jim Singleton.
As chairman of the Budget Committee, normally I signed all fiscal ordinances by request. I stated my position clearly last fall by refusing to sponsor this ordinance because it would not save taxpayers' money. The administration and the pension board have not proven that early retirement for 500 workers is good fiscal policy. Under this proposal, the mayor's pension would become payable 10 years early at a cost of $400,000 to the taxpayer. Last Thursday, a vote on this proposal was again delayed at the request of the administration, not as an election ploy as suggested by Mr. Johnson. Because an alternative to this proposal is more employee layoffs, we must give this proposal proper consideration. The bottom line is how to spend very limited tax dollars. I always stand for what is fiscally conservative and within our means. As written, the administration's proposed retirement package clearly is not, and I will vote against it.
This has been a reply to a WWL-TV editorial.
Entertainment Tonight will be aired in its entirety at 12:35 a.m. Now stay tuned for The Late Show with David Letterman, followed by Olympic highlights next on Channel 4.